this is gonna be interesting.
When I first walked in, I thought, I'm done. Like, I don't know if I can do this.
I was like, what are we doing? Like, what is this? I've never been in a class like this before.
When he said we were gonna be self-teaching, I was like, whoa, wait, what?
I had no idea what was in store for me.
In the beginning, students are incredibly fearful of a learning paradigm that is not didactic. They're so not used to that, especially because it's not an art class, it's a humanities class. When I'm asking them to move through the process and take larger leaps of faith, the structure of the class allows a certain level of courage that will culminate in a final project, which at times is an individual project, at times it's a group project.
What is the one thing you wish you had? I wish I had a good relationship with my mom.
They're learning a tremendous amount about themselves by taking that very private moment and making it public. They become the inspirational force. They become the empowering force.
Through high school, I dealt with a lot of social insecurities. I dealt with being in and out of the hospital chronically ill where no one could touch me.
I like to stay in my own little bubble. I'm like a little turtle who just can't get out of its shell.
I'm hoping to learn about myself, learn to open up to people easier, like these exercises where you lie to each other's faces, pretend you're someone else.
I am Fernanda Garcia Lopez. How are you?
I have these dreams, and then I'll be like, yes, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then all of a sudden I open up a door and fear just consumes me.
Sharing your dreams with people is kind of tough. You get judged like so much.
He read some of what I wrote, so we thought I should utilize that.
I want you to know that there is an immeasurable amount of potential inside of you.
It's hard to open up yourself when you're known as the person who can't speak.
Jin unfolded like a flower. The depth of what she was discovering about herself and uncovering and sharing was monumental. In that moment, she changed. She found her power, she found her voice, and she became a leader. She inspired the other 30 people who were sitting there, who were coming up to her to saying, I can't believe that's in you. I wonder what's in me. The idea of asking college students to enter the abyss of sheer nothingness and say, I trust that if we go into this space together, something amazing is going to emerge. That's like asking someone to step off a cliff and imagine that a net will appear.
This class challenged me to push those borders of what I thought, who I was, and how I thought I could interact with people. I didn't have to be anyone or be more mature, be less mature. I could just be myself, and I felt really comfortable in that fact. To get on that stage and have to trust people to come up and touch me and let them actually tie my wrists was hard.
I was really, really depressed. I lost my dad to suicide when I was on vacation. Found out through a text message from my best friend.
I wanted to change the way people thought, change how they think. Just because everything looks fine and pretty doesn't always mean it is.
I would go back to high school and I wouldn't know how to interact, how to talk to people. But I would put on a smile, I'd make everything seem like it was okay. Ribbons are really beautiful, it's a beautiful pink color, but every layer is another restriction.
Each ribbon represented a layer, everything started coming together.
We're moving along the lines from smaller risks to larger risks to inevitably allowing a vision to emerge of something that is really challenging. And that challenge could be emotionally challenging, it could be aesthetically challenging, it could be culturally challenging, and challenging notions of the self.
This brick wall represents different stages that I go through.
I struggle with fear and confidence and self-esteem. That's why this course is perfect for me. My project is a box, 3 stages, and I separated each room. It has a door because I do open the doors for these things. For fear, I open the door, I allow it in. And I have the stick figures, and one of them says dreams, and then the next one has a ball and chain where I'm like this because I'm like, oh, I can't go anywhere, I'm scared. I don't want to get out of my comfort zone. And then the third one is breaking that wall and getting right through. It's definitely helping me change the way I view things and just saying yes and taking risk and not being afraid of the unknown.
They're able to articulate their learning. It's not like, oh, that was really fun. It's more like, I'm not the same person I was 15 weeks ago, for the better.
As a career, originally I'm like, okay, unrealistically, I really can't become a lawyer. I mean, it's going to take forever. When I brought it up to my family, they're like, you know, you're too old, or it's too expensive, or it's too difficult, or it's very negative. Now I just feel, yeah, I can go for it. Why say no? I have to say yes, because if I say no, then I never give it a shot. I got to give it a shot.
I'm basically saying I need you to think critically, I need you to think creatively, and I need you to think collaboratively.
Tear it off and then have more people do it.
You can move forward into the unknown and into the realm of creativity through a process that allows something new to be born.
I like this class a lot. I'm really looking forward to changing my ways around it.
I challenge myself a little bit, get out of my comfort zone. It offers a unique perspective on education, because nowadays everything's about testing, everything's about you do this, this, and this. Here's a bunch of knowledge, learn it, take a test, get A's, forget it, never learn it again. It really gets your creative juices flowing, it really gets you thinking. What I want to learn from this class is to be more myself, how to be more creative. This is a sketch with a pen in my criminal justice notebook I made about a year ago. And it was like, it captured what I was feeling at the moment. It was just like I was suffocated by my own poor life decisions.
The person is being choked in the air, and the bubbles, like the comic book bubbles, created the monster that's choking the person, representing mental illness, the fact that you're your own worst enemy. You know, you create your own barriers.
Now it's interesting, if you go walk inside the classroom, if you look at students working, they're really into it.
When one person finds that strength in the collective, and it empowers the other people in the class, it becomes sort of an infinity loop of inspiration and empowerment, and there's this beautiful sense of community that builds that is truly an intra-supportive community.
There's a girl named Jillian who was very closed off, and I just recall her just like kind of panicking and very to herself.
I'm very, like around other people, I'm pretty shy. I'm more of an introvert, I guess, than an extrovert. It's still something that I struggle with, but I'm learning.
As the semester progressed, Jillian went from being completely non-expressive to creating one of the most powerful pieces I've ever seen.
My darling, my blood, you have yet to draw your first breath on the tragically beautiful planet called Earth. I just feel like humanity has just declined, has been on a steady decline for a while. And I was gonna have like clips of like a baby crying.
She tapped into something that was so personal and so meaningful, and then used art.
He's so adamant about me writing, so I'm gonna try to incorporate it into my final project. I must warn you that the world will undoubtedly break your heart. It may be a person, an event, or merely the burden of bearing witness to the decay of the human race. I'm addressing the world that my sister's unborn baby is gonna be brought into.
She was a voice for her generation, and she found a way to be able to present that voice and that concern in a way that everyone was riveted and listened and learned.
Do not let yourself be fooled into a mediocre and controlled life that's dictated by society. I learned a lot about myself and that there's like unlocked potential inside of me.
I see a new Jillian. I see her alive and positive and, you know, wanting to follow her dreams and her goals, and she made friends. She said she didn't have any friends. Everybody loves her, but she didn't even realize that, and I believe that this course brought that out in her.
To see her feel that good about herself and move from no one to leader.
He's taught me that there's so much more out there than something that you're supposed to do. Like, you know, you're told to do this or told to do that.
Would you be willing to share your dream with someone in the class that doesn't know?
I would tell Jillian. I think she's very open-minded. I felt like that, literally, like, from meeting her, like, the first day. I don't know, I had good vibes about her.
I think, like, what I would want to do, like, in life, for myself. Why am I crying? I'm so stupid.
Because it's your dream. It's supposed to make you cry.
It's probably, like, want to do modeling.
Modeling? Yes!
I would, like, die to do that.
That would be amazing. You're so beautiful. Are you kidding? Like, My major is photography. Let's take some pictures sometime. It makes me feel wonderful that someone's comfortable enough to share their dreams with me. That's amazing.
Fatima has a dream of modeling, but her mother is very conservative and she's not necessarily supportive of her dream.
I would never ever tell anybody that dream. I would rather work on that on my own and not share anything with anybody, but he made it so that it's okay to talk about what you really feel, and I would have never done that.
By learning that it's okay to fall and learning that it's okay to say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, but with an intention that says we're all here for the better.
This class made me push myself, and now so many good things are happening because I am being myself. I'm not scared of that.
There's no doing a good job so that the teacher will be proud. There's self-worth, and there's motivation that comes from the inside that says, I want to do a great job. The possibility here to do something really substantial is right in front of me. As long as we can come together and we can join forces, who knows what we can accomplish.
I didn't realize I had any creativity in me at all. And he brought that out in me.
I've never had a professor be this on top, like this. You know, he actually believes in you.
I love it. I love meeting people. Like, I'm not scared of that anymore. Like, it actually excites me. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna learn new things.
Now we're here at the end of the semester, and I'm like, okay, I feel a lot more confident about this creative mind thing.
He saw something positive in all of us, and he encouraged that, and he brought that out in us. So if we had more classes like that, oh wow, what would we do? The type of people that the college would like put out in the workforce would be fantastic.